were acceptable to Gen X, Y and Z. Those words of Congress MP Manish Tiwari have armed the BJP to take pot shots at Rahul Gandhi. A social media post that highlighted the protests in our neighborhood from Nepal to Bangladesh to now Philippines, where Gen Z revolted, resisted and are now demanding change. Manish Tiwari said that the current generation no longer accepts entitlement, and that armed the BJP to train its guns at Congress MP and leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi, despite Manish Tiwari coming out and clarifying. Manish Tiwari retweeted a post that a BJP member had made and said that the BJP must rise above politics, but the political furor had already begun. The Saffron Party tagged Rahul Gandhi the ultimate Nepo kid of Indian politics. But has Rahul Gandhi made the leap from an entitled dynast, as the BJP calls him, to a politician that understands the pulse of the people, as the Congress likes to remind? Well, we'll open that up to our guests in just a bit, but here's exactly what Manish Tiwari said and the political fight that ensued after that. The Congress MP said that social media trends are toppling governments in several countries. He cited the examples, like I said, of Nepal and Bangladesh. The BJP hit back. They said that this is a revolt within the Congress party against Rahul Gandhi. Manish Tiwari then pointed out that governments like Sheikh Hasina's in Bangladesh and KP Sharma Oli's in Nepal were toppled by the Gen Z. The BJP fired back, saying that Rahul Gandhi's regressive politics have now been rejected, and this is a message from Manish Tiwari to Rahul Gandhi. Manish Tiwari had then in his post said that Gen Z is against entitlement, to which the BJP simply said that Manish Tiwari was sending a subtle message to Rahul Gandhi, as he has done in the past as well. The Congress Member of Parliament then added that entitlement is no longer acceptable. The BJP echoed that sentiment, labelling Rahul Gandhi the ultimate Nepo kid. Manish Tiwari said that dynasts are being challenged, to which the BJP alleged that even Congress veterans are now fed up with Rahul Gandhi.
सही कहा मनीष तिवारी जी ने, और उनकी बातों को गंभीरता से लेना चाहिए, ख़ास तौर पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी को, उनके गठबंधन को, क्योंकि उनकी वो सरकार में हैं। और हम लोगों को इन तीनों देशों से, चाहे वो श्रीलंका हो, बांग्लादेश हो, नेपाल हो, जो घटना घटी है वो बहुत चिंताजनक है।
कांग्रेस और राहुल गांधी को केवल जेन जी नहीं बल्कि कांग्रेस की जेन ट्री भी रिजेक्ट करती जा रही है। जेन जी ने तो दूसू इलेक्शन में, एचयू इलेक्शन में राहुल गांधी का हाथ नहीं पकड़ा, और अब तो कांग्रेस के वेटरन्स मनीष तिवारी हो या शशि थरूर जी हो, वो भी लगातार राहुल गांधी को आईना दिखा रहे हैं। मतलब कांग्रेस की जेन ट्री भी जेन जी की भाषा बोलने लगी है।
Now, Manish Tiwari's several comments in the past have raised eyebrows. In August 2025, Manish Tiwari had alleged that he was denied a chance to speak during the Operation Sindoor debate in Parliament, even though he was one of the members of Parliament that went on a world tour telling governments of different countries of why Operation Sindoor was necessary and how Pakistan had to be exposed. Back in July this year, he taunted his own party. He said that you won't understand my words if you don't understand my silences. In July 2022, Manish Tiwari did not sign the opposition statement that sought the withdrawal of the Agnipath scheme. A month earlier, in June 2022, he had called the Agnipath scheme a much-needed reform. A year before that, in 2021, he had criticized the government's perceived inaction following the 9/11 terror attacks. And in August 2021, he demanded strict action against pro-Pakistan advisors within the Punjab Congress. That is something why the BJP believes that what Manish Tiwari wrote today, irrespective of his clarification, is a subtle hint that the top leadership of the Congress party must take. What the BJP is also pointing out is that Rahul Gandhi's failing leadership and how that leaves Congress at a critical crossroads. The question really is, can Congress actually come out and counter this kind of argument that the BJP is making? Well, here are some facts. The Congress party failed to maintain its Lok Sabha momentum. They did manage to get their act together as far as the 2024 Lok Sabha elections went, but all of the assembly elections after that, be it Odisha, be it Haryana, be it Maharashtra, or in Delhi earlier this year, the Congress failed to make a mark. It recorded its worst performance in Maharashtra. They won just 16 seats. While it showed weakness in Jharkhand, the Congress did hold firm as far as the Uttar Pradesh bypolls went last year. The Lok Sabha election script, though, seems to be repeating because, like I mentioned, there were several flops in several other states. The Congress was very confident that they would put up a strong fight here in the national capital in Delhi, which went to polls earlier this year, but once again, a complete dud. The party faced sound defeats in Haryana, in Jammu and Kashmir as well. And for a third consecutive time, the Congress suffered a drought in the Delhi Assembly elections. The Congress and the BJP are locked in a heated debate over Manish Tiwari's post. But the question really remains, is Rahul Gandhi the real target? Or like he says, is he simply misunderstood? Well, we'll ask our guests that. Rohan Gupta, spokesperson of the BJP, is with us. Dr. Nishant Anand, spokesperson of the Congress, is with us as well. Dr. Anand, who do you think Manish Tiwari was referring to when he put out that post?
Hi, good evening to everybody. See, Manish Tiwari ji wrote very clearly the situation in our neighboring countries. We should learn and make sure that there is no entitlement. Like, for example, see, today we need to understand the way, for example, I'll give the name of Jay Shah, son of Amish Shah. He's the chairman of ICC. He has not even played gully cricket. Number two, like Anurag Thakur or Rajnath Singh's son, Pankaj Singh. So what he meant was that there should not be dynasty politics, which is happening in BJP. However, we should learn what is happening in our neighboring states, neighboring countries. That's what he meant. But however, it was written in English, and the BJP couldn't understand what he's trying to say. Now, see, Rahul Gandhi ji and Congress Party from day one has highlighted, and Rahul Gandhi ji walked 4,000 kilometers from Kashmir to Kanyakumari to meet the people of India to listen to the problems. So BJP should tell, why do they give chances to the people of senior leaders? Why the dynasty politics is happening in BJP? Amish Shah's son, Rajnath Singh's son, Anurag Thakur, and several other are sitting in parliament who have not done anything. Congress party, all the leaders are trying to make sure they highlight the issues like demonetization, GST, farmer laws, everything Congress party has highlighted and told BJP in advance and the nation in advance that the policies that you are taking out is not right. But BJP, after 8 years, 2017, they started the GST. And Amish Shah wrote on Twitter, it is a masterstroke. Today, 3 days back again, Amish Shah wrote, it's a masterstroke. So whatever Modi ji does, BJP calls it as a masterstroke.
But for some reason, for the Congress, neither that was a masterstroke nor this is a masterstroke. But as far as Anurag Thakur or Rajnath Singh's son is concerned, both of them have contested elections. And if they were to be just dynasts that the people didn't believe in or who didn't do any work for their constituency, they would have been voted out. But that wasn't the case. Unlike in Rahul Gandhi's case, who lost a family bastion.
So Rahul Gandhi ji have not contested elections? He's the leader of opposition.
Of course he has, but like I said, he did lose a family bastion, didn't he?
Okay, what election did Jay Shah contested that he became the ISC chairman? He has not played gully cricket. He could not speak 50 words in English, and he's a chairman of such a big cricket league. Now, we need to understand, 2017, when Amish Shah and Modi said it's a masterstroke, why after 8 years, looting 40 crores as per the new policy? Why they are saying this is also a masterstroke? They are just hiding, because today the famous slogan is India is vote chor, gaddi chor. They are winning. You talked about elections of Maharashtra, Haryana, Delhi. They are winning because of the vote chori. They added lakhs of votes in Maharashtra and they deleted 60 lakh votes in Bihar. We presented 80 lakh forms by the BLA in Haryana, in Bihar. They have not accepted it. We have given epic numbers, pictures, people, identity, everything related to the vote chori. So I think Modi ji should once again come to the Lal Killa and apologize to the nation that today, 2024 elections and the state elections, they have won by vote chori.
Rohan Gupta, it was vote chori, which is why you won all of these elections last year, but it wasn't vote chori because the Congress won Telangana and Karnataka.
Absolutely. So I think you have answered my question. The point here is very simple. Manish Tiwari ji, this is not the first time that he has expressed his anger or concern over the working of Congress party. He was member of G23. And he was also, suppressed by so-called darbaris of Mr. Gandhi, who has surrounded the party and ensured that each and every decision or narrative what party makes, they don't go along with the people's sentiment. And vote chori is another such example where it has absolutely no resonance on ground, and they are going to lose Bihar badly. They have given Bihar in platter to BJP by raising this issue, which has non-existence on ground. However, coming back to Mr. Tiwari, when he was denied during the Lok Sabha speech, he was denied address to the Lok Sabha. He was very clear. He posted then also that he was the MP who represented India in Operation Sindoor, and his only fault was since he represented India, he was not allowed to speak in Parliament. So if this kind of mindset is there, what the person will do? He is the experienced politician. And mind you, when he wrote this tweet, Don't you feel he doesn't understand what are going to be repercussions? He has put word dynasty in bold. He has clearly said Nepo kid. So what does it mean? Don't you really understand what will be the repercussions? The Darbaris of Congress party will be after him. Whether in publicly they will admit or not, I think Manish Tiwari will have to answer internally why he wrote this tweet, what was his meaning, and maybe he might be penalized by
But Rohan Gupta,
other
he's
concerns.
clarified. He's come out and said that this is a message that's misunderstood. That the BJP should rise above politics, because he was talking about the neighborhood and he was talking about revolt that's happening in countries around us and now in Philippines and has nothing to do with India.
See, that is the beauty, right? Whenever Mr. Manish Tiwari or Mr. Shashi Tharoor, they went for Operation Sindhu, they represented country, they were not allowed to speak. Obviously, they have their own means of expressing their anger. And this is one such tweet he has done just to express his anger. And obviously, the Darbaris will be after him. In order to save his Naukri, he will have to ensure that in public domain, he just clarifies. But at the end of the day, when he wrote this tweet, he knew what is going to be the repercussion. And point is larger here. I am not talking about the smaller point. Anybody with self-respect will get frustrated in current Congress party, where the narrative is decided by Darbaris who absolutely don't have any ground presence. They are just sitting in AC chamber and deciding the narrative of the party. And when the results come, they will allege vote chori. And mind you, this vote chori also is by these so-called Darbaris to save their own job. Because whenever Congress party will lose elections, they will say, देखिए हमने तो सब किया, वोट चोरी हो गए. So their main supreme leader will be happy. देखिए हम तो जीत रहे हैं पर हम वोट चोरी से हार गए. What they are talking about? In Maharashtra, after they lost election, they wrote to election commission, and election commission answered them on December 24, 2024
in Maharashtra,
with detailed answer. After
between
that,
the Lok
please don't
Sabha and
speak
state
me.
elections,
I never was
40 lakhs voters
Please
were
don't do
increased.
that.
Dr. Anand, I'll give
Please
you your
don't do
time to
this.
rebut. Let him finish.
Please don't do that.
I request both of you, let's not speak over each other.
Just December 2024, Election Commission replied each and every point in Maharashtra. After that, why Congress party has not gone back to Election Commission and give the reply? Because they know there is no substance. So mind you, they don't understand the people's narrative. They don't understand the pulse of the people, whether it is Operation Sindoor or after that, aftermath of that. You can see the statement of Sam Pitroda. After such statements, where the reality of current Congress party is in front of the people, do you feel people will vote for them? They will not vote. And then absolutely they have to do campaigns like vote sorry. Mind you, I am in Bihar. They have gifted Bihar to BJP because of this campaign, because this doesn't resonate on ground, because 7 crore 25 lakh
Sure,
voters.
and the voters will decide whether this resonates, whether this is an election issue or not. But as far as the concern is there, Dr. Anand, it can't be that in states where you won that there was no vote chori, but in the states that you lost that election was stolen from you.
See, Poonam, we need to understand 10%, 90% of the states BJP has the government in. So the 3 states Congress has the government in. They have given it so that these debates can happen and they can point out you have a government in.
So are you saying the voters of these 3 states, Dr. Anand, Rohan Gupta, just a second. So Dr. Anand, are you saying the voters of these states have voted for the Congress because the BJP asked them to do so? Okay. And not because the elected representatives of the Congress deserve to win there.
It is gifted by BJP.
Let me answer
Yes,
that.
Please.
Now, as far as Maharashtra, Haryana elections are concerned, or Karnataka,
you answer for these 3 states now.
Rohan, don't interrupt me.
Rohan Gupta, just a second.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, now if I talk about Maharashtra, from 20 Lok Sabha elections and state elections, 40 lakhs voters were increased within the span of 5 months. Point number 2, when we gave the Mahadev constituency vote chori of 1 lakh voters, they have increased and they have created fake voters. We have given the records from the epic numbers to every detail. Now in Bihar, close to 80 lakhs forms we have deposited. 20 lakhs people they deleted who were not in Bihar. So close to 65 lakh people they have deleted. Today we have given all the details and Election Commission is not able to answer. BJP is answering on behalf of Election Commission. Today Election Commission is working as a sangh for BJP, and BJP is trying to hide behind Election Commission, sometime ED or some institution. Now, understand, Congress party from last 3 months, it's been highlighting and giving the facts. Earlier, people were asking news channels that give us the numbers, give us the proofs. We have given more than 1 lakh epic numbers. We have shown the people who are saying on the news channels, our votes has been deleted. How come 40 lakhs voters has been increased in Maharashtra? How come in Haryana, when we file a petition, High Court asked the Election Commission to deposit the video of the voting and they changed the article, they changed the law to make it for 45 days. See, today, They are assuming what is Manish Tiwari is thinking, what is Shashi Tharoor is thinking. They should be focused towards development or our nation,
No,
not
there
by
is
just
no assumption, Dr. Anand, because a lot of these, including Salman Khurshid, including Manish Tiwari, including Shashi Tharoor, they've all differed from the party line in the past. And for good reason, many would say, as far as taking an India First stance is concerned. But leave that aside, the concerns that have been raised by these members of the Congress party who chose to stay in the Congress party, for some reason, their issues are not issues. Is that the case?
No, so you need to understand what they meant by this tweet today. He clearly stated we should learn from the examples which are happening in nearby countries. We should not follow this entitlement. We should not do this nepotism which is happening today by the BJP government, and I've given you the names. So see, it's we need to understand Congress party today is highlighting, and everybody in India is saying it's vote chori, and everybody is asking to Modi to resign. Because we have given the facts. We have given several constituencies, and in few days we will also tell you how did they win in Haryana, how did they win in Maharashtra. Today they are just hiding behind giving
But Dr.
these
Anand, you
several
didn't
policies.
answer my question. That if all of these elections were stolen from you, how is it that those three states where the Congress is in power, the Congress was elected?
So that these debates can happen. So that people can say, how come you won 3 states?
So you're saying once again that the people, that the Congress representatives in these states did not deserve to win. Is that what you're saying?
Okay. If there is a house and a thief comes in, वो सोना भी ले लेता है, बर्तन भी ले लेता है, घर का सब कुछ ले जाता है. Last में एक बेडशीट और एक बेड छोड़ जाता है और लोग कहते हैं आपका बेड तो बच गया. They have stolen all these states by vote chori. They have won in Lok Sabha by vote chori, and we have given not one, more than 1 lakh voters details with the pictures, with their ID, with everything. So today they need to answer to the nation. Why did they do?
Sir, one of those persons whose number you put out in that presentation came out and said I was being harassed. I had nothing to do with this case, but my number was flashed by Rahul Gandhi to the entire world and the country, and now people are calling me with all sorts of questions and in the middle of the night.
Okay, so what about the 90,900 numbers and data we shared? You remember one.
So you're
example.
admitting
What
that
about
one
the
may
other
have been
people?
wrong.
No, I did not admit. I answered you back. You need to admit. I am answering. We mentioned 1,250,000 people, epic numbers. If one said it, I agree. What about the other 1 lakh people who are filing their forms with the Election Commission, who are coming on the news channel and saying in one small 1-bedroom house they have 500 voters in Bihar? How come 40 lakhs voter increase in 4 months in Maharashtra, which has not happened in 20 years when the Election Commission did it? So we need to understand, they are giving one example. We are giving 1 lakh plus examples of vote chori. We are telling them they win in Maharashtra, Haryana, and Lok Sabha by vote chori.
So Ron Gupta, you're trying. Ron Gupta, the BJP is trying to.
This is really.
So Ron Gupta, you're trying to divert the attention by misreading what Manish Tiwari said, by misreading what many others within the Congress are saying, because the real issue here is vote chori, and you want to deflect attention from there.
It is Congress, I think, which is misreading the sentiments of the people. It is Congress which is misreading this kind of leaders who have at least some knowledge of foreign policy or ground politics. It is Congress who is misreading the total narrative of the common people today, and that's why they are alleging for vote chori. I have categorically answered.
Give the facts.
Please don't speak in between, my friend. This is not the debate, right? I categorically told Maharashtra, whatever allegations they made, they could not answer them. They are talking about vote chori. I am surprised why Congress has not alleged in Dusu election the vote chori. It is a Gen Z, where you completely lost the election. One day before, Congress was telling that we are going to sweep and you are losing it. That is also vote chori. It is vote chori because you are not understanding the pulse of the people today. You don't understand what is happening on ground. Your leaders like Sam Pitroda, they will come out and say that, okay, I love Pakistan. मुझे पाकिस्तान में घर जैसा लगता है, और आप बोलते हैं कि जनता आपको माफ कर देगी. कभी माफ नहीं करेगी. ये वोट चोरी नहीं है, जनता का विश्वास चोरी आपने किया है. People don't trust you anymore because this kind of politics where it is surrounded by darbaris, they decide the narrative of the party and your supreme leader accepts that.
And which narrative will actually echo on ground, we'll find out. Bihar elections are just around the corner. Absolutely. Whether this vote chori narrative is actually something that the voter on ground believes in, we'll find out when they do go to cast their ballot. But I have to leave it there. I thank you both gentlemen for joining us here on The Right Stand. Shifting focus now, the controversial overhaul of the US H1-B visa program is causing widespread concern in India. Millions of families, experts are trying to grasp the full impact. Now, since the announcement, there has been confusion that has been mounting over this major shift in immigration policy. But here's how it all transpired. On the 20th of September, the Trump administration announced a shocking $100,000 fee for all new H1-B applications. A day later, this fee was limited to new applicants only those who would be eligible via the lottery beginning next year. No renewal fee would be charged is what the clarification said. Then came a third clarification today. The White House hinted at possible exemptions for doctors, highlighting the critical role of healthcare workers in the United States, given how many doctors, healthcare professionals in the United States are not American nationals. Now, for decades, the H1-B lottery system gave equal chances to all applicants, whether a fresh graduate or a seasoned engineer. That's now changing. The Department of Homeland Security was proposed a weighted selection process which prioritized high-paying jobs and high-skilled workers over lower-wage applicants, which is why many believe now that the fine print which will come out from the Trump administration is going to be important, because now only those people who earn or will earn above a certain wage will be allowed to apply for H1B visas. That's something that the Trump administration seems to be mulling. On top of that, there are some exemptions that they have now come out with. While the proclamation does not list specific occupations, the National Interest Clause suggests that exemptions are likely in certain areas which are tied to medical research, to healthcare professionals. National security, of course, is another big concern that the Trump administration has. Critical infrastructure, what that means, that of course hasn't been specified. Advanced innovation is another sector where they will be closely watching who they give out these visas to. In other words, highly skilled talent will be more welcome. There will also be a wage cap, like I said, that will be put forth, but that fine print is yet to come out. Now, as far as Indians are concerned, Indian talent is a key pillar of the US economy and of the workforce. Nearly 1 in 4 doctors in the United States is foreign trained. Indian physicians make up about 22%, which is the largest group among immigrant doctors. In tech and STEM, Indians receive a whopping 73% of all H1B visas. It forms the backbone of the Silicon Valley. Economically, Indian IT firms support over 625,000 American jobs. They contribute billions to the US economy. That deep dependence is what is being highlighted by several experts, not just from India, but even within the United States. And they claim that this is why changes to visa policies are causing widespread concern. Let's now tell you why doctors are at the heart of this H1B visa debate, which is why we had seen this third clarification that came in from the Trump administration today. For one, immigrant physicians make up about 26% of all doctors in the United States, with Indian doctors being the largest group. Imagine 26% of the doctors' pool being completely not considered by the administration, would not be eligible for H1B. That's something that the United States villages, cities, countryside, the back of beyond will not be able to afford. Another reason is that this country faces a looming shortage of about 124,000 doctors, at least that's the estimate by 2034, which is in the next 9 years. This crisis really is worsened by an aging workforce, is what many experts in the United States believe. There are upcoming retirements, which is why you will have to keep this cycle going. And if you put a stop to immigrant doctors, to H1B visa applicants, then that will be a problem. This newly proposed $100,000 fee could severely impact the recruitment of these essential medical professionals, which threatens patient care across the nation, which is why we have seen that there is this clarification that has come to the fore from the Trump administration now. And speaking of Donald Trump, that's not the only controversy that he seems to have triggered in the last couple of days. President Trump has now stirred a debate by claiming that autism is linked to childhood vaccines and the use of Tylenol or paracetamol during pregnancy by expectant mothers. While speaking publicly, he advised pregnant women and parents to avoid the medication and delay early life vaccinations for children as well. Now, medical professionals across the United States have pushed back. They've warned that Trump's statements contradict established research and may fuel misinformation about vaccine safety and prenatal care.
United States President Donald Trump has urged pregnant women to avoid Tylenol, the brand name for paracetamol, citing an unproven link to autism. The warning issued on Monday came as the US drug regulator announced plans to add a label cautioning about a possible increased risk of autism and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder in children. The remarks prompted swift backlash from doctors and scientists who stressed that evidence so far shows only associations, not proven cause and effect. For viewers in India, Tylenol is the same drug we commonly know as paracetamol. It is one of the most widely used medicines in Indian households, sold under the brand names like Crocin and Dolo. In fact, the latest study notes that the paracetamol is the most commonly used over-the-counter medicine for pain and fever during pregnancy, with more than 50% of pregnant women worldwide taking the drug. That is a huge number. So what does the research actually say? Paracetamol has been long considered the safest option for pain relief in pregnancy. Unlike aspirin and ibuprofen, which are known to cause complications, it has been widely prescribed for fever and mild pain. But the recent US study found that frequent or prolonged use may affect fetal brain development. Published in the journal Environmental Health, the study used the navigation guide method to evaluate evidence from 46 observational studies on prenatal exposure to paracetamol. According to researchers, this was the first time the framework was applied to assess the drug's potential impact on child's neurodevelopment. They found that a significant number of high-quality studies showed positive association between paracetamol use during pregnancy and later diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder in children. While some studies reported no link and a handful even suggested possible protective effects, the overall weight of evidence leaned towards a connection.
Speaking during Charlie Kirk's memorial in Arizona on Sunday, President Trump's speech took a detour, previewing an announcement about autism.
I think we found an answer to autism. How about that?
Today's announcement is expected to link the development of autism in children with use of pain reliever Tylenol during pregnancy. Tylenol, which is the brand name of the generic pain reliever acetaminophen, is widely used in the U.S., including during pregnancy. Speaking aboard Air Force One Sunday, Trump said he wants to see action.
We want things to take effect immediately.
According to a U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention report published in April, the incidence of autism is on the rise, which one expert says is primarily due to a broadening of the definition and push for better screening in children. About 1 in every 31 children was diagnosed with autism by age 8 in 2022, up from 1 in 36 in 2020. Tylenol maker Kenvue said earlier this month it had engaged in a scientific exchange on the issue with U.S. Department of Health and Human Services officials. In a statement, the company says acetaminophen is the safest pain reliever option for pregnant women as needed throughout their entire pregnancy. Without it, women face dangerous choices, suffer through conditions like fever that are potentially harmful to both mom and baby, or use riskier alternatives.
There is unfortunately no new studies, no new evidence that the administration offered today. We know from the studies that have already been conducted, again, over the past decade around the world, looking at millions of children, that there is no causal relationship between taking Tylenol, paracetamol, acetaminophen in pregnancy and later on having an increased risk of your baby developing autism. There just isn't evidence for a causal relationship at this time, Linda. There are risks associated with leaving a fever untreated, especially during the first trimester. So when you run a fever as a pregnant woman and you do not treat it, your risk of having a miscarriage, of your baby developing neural tube defects, heart defects, goes up, Linda. So this notion that doing nothing is better than taking a small dose of Tylenol is simply not true, because the risks of leaving fevers untreated in pregnancy are real.
Now, after receiving the prestigious Dadasaheb Phalke Award at the 71st National Film Awards, Malayalam legend Mohanlal spoke exclusively to CNN News 18. He dedicated the award to the Malayalam film industry. He said that it's a true honor and it's the love of the people that keeps him going. Listen in to that exclusive conversation.
Sir, today you have been awarded with Dada Phalke Sahib Award. How do you feel? What do you
You
have
have
to
given
say?
all the answers. Like, this is a great moment for us as an actor. This is a great honor, and I already told, I am giving this honor to the Malayalam industry. Okay?
You're dedicating this award to the Malayalam industry.
Thank you.
And what do you have to say about, you have been ruling the Malayalam industry?
Nothing, I am not ruling. I am a part of Malayalam industry.
Today you have been awarded with Dada Palke Sahib Award. How do you feel? What do you
You
have
have
to
given
say?
all the answers. Like, this is a great moment for us as an actor. This is a great honor. And I already told I am giving this honor to the Malayalam industry. Okay?
You're dedicating this award to the Malayalam industry.
Thank you.
And what do you have to say about, you have been ruling the Malayalam industry?
Nothing, I am not ruling. I am a part of Malayalam industry.
Well, it's time for a quick break here on this edition of The Right Stand. But on the other side is an exclusive conversation with author Amish Tripathi in conversation with my colleague Anand Narasimhan. Do stay tuned for that.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Preeti, if you are still with us, we do understand how emotional this entire aspect is and this entire final journey is because of the connection that Zubin had with everybody in the state of Assam and many in the country. What would you tell our viewers, considering we are putting across these very emotional scenes? Looking at his wife, nearly inconsolable, is heart-wrenching.
Yeah, see, you have mentioned about how he went for the festival, Northeast Festival, and where we never knew that Zubin Garg will never come back alive after going to that festival. He, in fact, was not willing to go, as far as the reports are concerned now, because he was not very well. He said he did not want to go, but there were financial some agreements also made for which he had to go, but he never came back alive. And very strangely, his next movie that was coming up in the next month, Roy Roy Binale. The Roy Roy Binale, as we have got the information about, the climax scene was very much same as this scene. He would have gone to the sea and someone of his friends would go there to rescue him. Very strange connections. We have very strange connections are now being seen. And he had a song, Akashe Gate Lobore Mon, Hagor Tolit Hubore Mon. So in this same song, Mayabini, there are these two lines, Akashe Gate Lobore Mon. I want to take the sky and the sea in my body, and I want to go into the sea forever. So he went to the sea forever. It was like his songs, even the last moment of his life was Mayabini, Akashe Gate Lobore Mon.
Namaste, Jayant, and welcome to yet another conversation around culture, heritage, and also storytellers who are bringing the past into the present so that the future remembers it, albeit in a matter of fiction. Now, his body of work, he's sold more than 8 million copies and still counting, and this latest one is a must-read. For me, it's a carry-on from Suhail Dev. 2020 to now 2025, the Chola Tigers, and the naam hi kafi hai, na? Amish ji, good to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Anand.
ये काफी time के बाद हम कर रहे हैं. Last time we met in Mumbai.
Yeah.
That's when there was another book that had come at that time. But in terms of follow-up of the series, the story of Somnath, in this you're saying the Avengers of Somnath, and you're bringing the Chola connection or the Chola Tigers connection. So how much of this is fiction and how much of it is fact?
Look, it is historical fiction, but there are a lot of historical facts in it. Was Emperor Rajendra Chola the most powerful man on earth at that time? Yes, he was. Was he a very devout Shaivite? Yes, he was. Extremely devout. There are enough examples of this. One minor example, outside a temple that he built, he put up a relief sculpture with Lord Shiva in the center and Rajaraj Chola, his father, and Rajendra Chola standing as servants to the left and right of Emperor of Lord Shiva. Which emperor shows himself like this? He was a very devout Shaivite. Did he Was he emotional about all of India? Yes, he changed his title to Gangai Konda when he had conquered up to the Ganga river. He changed the name of his capital to Gangai Konda Cholapuram because he brought the waters of the Ganga to his land, to the Kaveri. He didn't change his title when he conquered Southeast Asia or anything. It was the conquest up to Ganga that was an emotional moment for him. So all these are historical facts. Was he an ally of Emperor Bhojdev Parmar of Malwa? Yes, he was. This is also a historical fact. Did Mahmud Ghazni attack Somnathji at that time? Yes, he did. And is there some controversy around Mahmud's death? Yes, there is. Some historians say he died of malaria. But malaria in Ghazni, which is 2,500 meters above sea level, cold, in April, right? And it's not even like peak summer or actually malaria to monsoon time mein hona chahiye, right? So you put all of these together, this thing seems reasonable. So I've taken facts and I filled in my imagination where there are no facts. And it is the story of Emperor Rajendra Chola ordering a vengeance on Mahmud Ghazni for what he did to the Somnathji temple.
To the Somnathji temple. The thing is, his earlier effort, Sohail Dev won the Golden Book in 2022, correct?
Yeah.
See, हम भी आपके follow करते हैं आपके काम. But Sohail Dev was a certain rising of Bharat. There was also a certain contemporary connect to it. Around COVID, post-COVID, Atmanirbharta, all of that was happening and Bharat was rising. There was a swar coming across after the Ram Mandir judgment and all of that. What does this effort of yours do? I must be honest, I have not read the book yet. I'm looking forward to reading it. Although I can somewhere preempt what the plot will be and what is going to be, if it's going to be Amish. But from your point of view, what brought about this book?
So there'll be twists and turns in this, like in all my books. But the key things around my books, which is the unity of India, that the story of the last 1,000 years is not a story of Hindu-Muslim fights. It's a story of Indian foreigner fights. The Rayas of Vijayanagar, Chhatrapati, Shivaji, all of them, when they refer to what we call the Delhi Sultans and Mughals, actually Mughals should be called Temurids, right?
Yeah.
They call them Turushka. They didn't say Muslim. They call them Turushka, which is Sanskrit for Turks. They were very clear that they were fighting foreigners. We should be as clear that these were all foreign invaders. It's not a Hindu-Muslim issue, it's an Indian foreigner issue.
That is against an outsider, a foreigner. Now, the Israelis have a similar one. They are bickering politically, they are baying for each other in terms of differences internally, but they present a united front to the world.
Correct.
The Americans do the same thing. Why don't Bharatiya do that? And are you trying to find out the formula as to how they can do that in this book?
I would argue that throughout history, many Bharatiyas did do that. That is why we are still alive. Look, there's a version of history that's been taught to us about the last 1,000 years. That it is a series of military defeats by foreign invaders.
Correct.
The British Raj came up with this narrative, sold it to us. They had a clear reason to do it. They wanted to divide Hindu Muslims. Like I said often, British colonial rule is not called Christian rule, but Turkic colonial rule is called the Islamic invasion. It makes no sense unless you see the mischievous aim behind it. That's one aspect. The second aspect, they wanted to convince us that you are a defeated people. Your job is to lose to the next bunch of invaders. The British are only the latest one. That's what they wanted to convince us of. In my view, the real story of the last 1,000 years is that this is the greatest resistance movement in human history. No other indigenous group of people has fought a war of resistance for so long and so hard. Because the invaders who came here, the Turks, the Persians, the Arabs, the Mongols, the Portuguese, the Dutch, British, French, they all went to every other corner of the world as well.
Yeah.
In all other parts of the world, they wiped out all ancient cultures. There's nothing left. We are the only ones still standing. And it's not that they were charitable to us. किसी ने हमें खैरात में हमारा अस्तित्व नहीं दिया है. हमारे पूर्वजों ने लड़ के इसे बचाया है. That's the attitude we must have. Our ancestors were brave, and when push came to shove, they were united.
Correct.
Right? We must learn the lesson. Whenever we lost, it was because of internal divisions. Let's learn from the mistakes of our ancestors and learn from their strengths, that bravery and unity, and try and at least give up that divisions when it comes to foreigners. देखो अपने अंतर के arguments तो चलते रहेंगे. We Indians are like that. हमको arguments करने में मजा आता है. You put 10 Indians in a room, you'll have 11 opinions. Okay, करो arguments, but never ally with a foreigner against a fellow Indian. Never do that.
But history और our इतिहास is rife with the fact that, और ये भी तो स्टोरी है कि मंदिर के सारे किवाड़ और किलों के सारे किवाड़ जो है अंदर से खुलते हैं. तो ये जो काम है बैक स्टैबिंग का या किसी और के साथ घुसने का, ये हमारे इसमें है, जिसकी वजह से ये फिशर्स हमेशा बन जाते हैं. कोई ना कोई होता है जो रैंक तोड़ देता है, जो सबसे वीकेस्ट लिंक है, एंड द चेन इज ओनली एज स्ट्रांग एज द वीकेस्ट लिंक.
अगर मेजॉरिटी ये कर रहे होते of all groups, we wouldn't have survived.
Correct.
The fact that we have survived is evidence that the majority of all groups did not do this.
चलिए इतिहास और फिक्शन पर जरा वापस आऊँगा. I'll come back in a bit, but let me ask you, the launch of this book or the unveiling of this book, okay, there are two aspects to it. One is Talaivar, Rajni sir. The other one is the Prime Minister's visit to Gangaikonda Cholapuram. So, was it a coincidence or was it planned?
मैं छोटा आदमी हूँ. I am not a part of any major plan or anything. It was a coincidence. But Talaiva himself, you know, launching the cover of the book, man, I couldn't have asked for.
How did that happen?
यार ये ऐसा है कि I requested him through you know, a friend of mine, Annamalai ji. He's, I'm sure you know him, obviously.
Yes.
And he reads my books. He likes my books. So he contacted. I asked him, can Talaiva launch my cover? So he contacted Rajnikant ji, and I was very surprised to discover that he had read my books.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So so then he immediately agreed. And then my wife and I, publisher, we went to Chennai. We went to his farm. And what a man. I mean, you know, the mark of, at least in the Indian way, the mark of true greatness is no matter how big you are, how polite and humble you will be. The truly great people are that way. They don't have that false arrogance. Rajnikant ji is like that, yeah. We went to his farm, we turned in from the gate. I hadn't even put on my jacket because I assumed I'll get some time to put it on, and then he'd come to the door of his house, yeah. I was so embarrassed, I was rushing out back. And you're saying, relax, you know. And then we went and chatted. He chatted with us for like I thought I'll get 5 minutes with him, 45 minutes.
Wow.
You know, and he was saying, Amish ji, I like your books. I said, sir, aap ji bol rahe hain, mujh mein paap lag raha hai. I was saying in English,
yeah.
I know he understands a bit of broken Hindi, of course. And he loved the cover. And he also told me something very nice. He said, I always used to feel sad that because he said in his mind, and he's right, the Chodas are Indian heroes. And he said, why did North Indians ignore them? Why did North Indians not write about this? He said the greatest book on the Chodas are Ponniyin Selvan. Yeah. I've read those series of books. I studied in Tamil Nadu.
Correct.
The 1980s. I don't know if you know. So,
you've told me about this, yeah.
Yeah. So he said the greatest books on the Chodas are all written by Tamilians. He said this is so sad, you know, because they are Indian heroes. And he said, I'm so happy because you're a national author, but I know you're from Varanasi. And a North Indian is writing about this. This is very good for us. So he was very happy. And I was on, you know, seventh heaven. Yeah. Like, what a man. So, and I touched his feet at the end. And he blessed me with success for the book.
What was, when he asked you the questions, did he also ask you, why did you write this book? Or where does this come from? See, and let's come back to the book again. You choose the Tamil warrior, a Gujarati merchant, a devotee of Ayyappa. So that is again the Harihar connection because he is the son of Shiva and Mohini. A scholar emperor from Malwa and the most powerful man on earth, Emperor Rajendra Chola. So it's the emperor who decides to put this motley group of people. But how did this choice come?
You know, first of all, I knew a lot about the Chodas and Tamil culture because I had studied in South India.
Correct.
So I had read Ponniyin Selvan in the 1990s when the first translations had come out, and I'd heard of it already when I was in school because practically every Tamilian has, at least the well-read Tamilians have read
Ponniyin Selvan.
It's a modern classic.
Yeah.
And it's a story of Rajendra Chola's father, Rajra Chola. So they were already there in my mind as, you know, great warriors, scholars, infrastructure builders, administrators, devout Shaivites.
Yeah, the Brihadishwara temple itself.
Exactly. And the thing that had always struck me is they lived at the same time as Mahmud Ghazni. When he did this humongous crime against all Shaivites, against our Lord. And I thought, there is no way Emperor Rajen Choda would not have responded. He would have. And this is the story of his response.
So when did this come to you?
The story.
So when you're writing Sohail Dev, did you...
it was already there. Because I referenced this idea within Sohail Dev itself.
Yeah.
At the end of Sohail Dev, General Narasimhan,
Correct.
who had come to help King Sohail Dev,
Correct.
he tells him at the end that we got our vengeance with Mahmud as well. And King Sohail Dev tells him that, my God, this is so interesting. I want to hear this story. And then General Narasimhan says, if Lord Shiva wills it, sometime an author will write that book as well.
Right, book.
The author is here.
No, I remember. So is there another connection in the epilogue in this?
There are various stories.
Are you making a prophecy in this also?
There's a prophecy I put at the end of the book, and I don't think it's a spoiler. I mean, there are twists and turns in the book, but it will not be a spoiler to tell you what the last chapter is. It's an epilogue. After the vengeance has been done and Somnath Ji has to be rebuilt, Emperor Rajen Choda's son and Emperor Bhojdev Parmar's son and General Narasimhan go to the Kanchi Shankaracharya and say that we want to reconsecrate the shattered pieces of the Shivling which they got back from Ghazni and Punah Pran Pratishtha karna hai. And Kanchi Shankaracharya ji says, no, this is not the right time. And India has a lot more suffering to do. And then Rajen Choda's son says that, but we've defeated the invaders. And he says, no, we have 1,000 years of suffering to do. And then he says that there will come a time, 1,000 years later, when Ram has returned to Ayodhya. And then immediately Rajen Choda's son, Bhojdev Parma's son interrupts, but Ram is in Ayodhya, he's there in Ram Janmabhoomi temple. He says, no.
In fact, it hit a record high 48 times in the last short period of time. Growth is surging, manufacturing is booming. The stock market, as I said, is doing better than it's ever done. And all of you in this room benefit by that, almost everybody. And importantly, workers' wages are rising at the fastest pace in more than 60 years. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? In 4 years of President Biden, we had less than $1 trillion of new investment into the United States. In just 8 months since I took office, we have secured commitments and money already paid for $17 trillion. Think of it, 4 years, less than $1 trillion, 8 months, much more than $17 trillion is being invested in the United States. And it's now pouring in from all parts of the world. We've implemented the largest tax cuts in American history and the largest regulation cuts in American history, making this once and again the best country on earth to do business. And many of the people in this room are investing in America, and it's turned out to be an awfully good investment during this 8-month period. In my first term, I built the greatest economy in the history of the world. We had the best economy ever, history of the world. And I'm doing the same thing again, but this time it's actually much bigger and even better. The numbers far surpass my record-setting first term. On our southern border, we have successfully repelled a colossal invasion. And for the last 4 months, and that's 4 months in a row, the number of illegal aliens admitted and entering our country has been 0. Hard to believe, because if you look back just a year ago, it was millions and millions of people pouring in from all over the world, from prisons, from mental institutions, drug dealers. All over the world they came. They just poured into our country with the ridiculous open border policy of the Biden administration. Our message is very simple. If you come illegally into the United States, you're going to jail, or you're going back to where you came from, or perhaps even further than that. You know what that means. I want to thank the country of El Salvador for the successful and professional job they've done in receiving and jailing so many criminals that entered our country. And it was under the previous administration that the number became record-setting, and they're all being taken out. We have no choice. And other countries have no choice because other countries are in the exact same situation with immigration. It's destroying your country, and you have to do something about it. On the world stage, America is respected again like it has never been respected before. You think about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, or 1 year ago, we were a laughingstock all over the world. At the NATO summit in June, virtually all NATO members formally committed to increase defense spending at my request from 2% to 5% of GDP, making our alliance far stronger and more powerful than it was ever before. In May, I traveled to the Middle East to visit my friends and rebuild our partnerships in the Gulf and those valued relationships with Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE and other countries are now, I believe, closer than ever before. My administration has negotiated one historic trade deal after another, including with the United Kingdom, the European Union, Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, Indonesia, the Philippines, Malaysia, and many, many others. Likewise, in a period of just 7 months, I have ended 7 unendable wars. They said they were unendable. You're never going to get them solved. Some were going for 31 years, 2 of them, 31, think of it, 31 years. One was 36 years. One was 28 years. I ended 7 wars. And in all cases, they were raging with countless thousands of people being killed. This includes Cambodia and Thailand, Kosovo and Serbia, the Congo and Rwanda, a vicious, violent war that was, Pakistan and India, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia, and Armenia and Azerbaijan. It included all of them. No president or prime minister, and for that matter, no other country has ever done anything close to that. And I did it in just 7 months. It's never happened before. There's never been anything like that. I'm very honored to have done it. It's too bad that I had to do these things instead of the United Nations doing them. And sadly, in all cases, the United Nations did not even try to help in any of them. I ended 7 wars, dealt with the leaders of each and every one of these countries, and never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing the deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen. But she's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the 2 things I got from the United Nations, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. Thank you very much. And by the way, it's working now. It just went on. Thank you. I think I should just do it the other way. It's easier. Thank you very much. I didn't think of it at the time because I was too busy working to save millions of lives. That is the saving and stopping of these wars. But later I realized that the United Nations wasn't there for us. They weren't there. I thought of it really after the fact, not during these negotiations, which were not easy. That being the case, what is the purpose of the United Nations? The UN has such tremendous potential. I've always said it. It has such tremendous, tremendous potential, but it's not even coming close to living up to that potential. For the most part, at least for now, all they seem to do is write a really strongly worded letter and then never follow that letter up. It's empty words, and empty words don't solve war. The only thing that solves war and wars is action. Now, after ending all of these wars and also earlier negotiating the Abraham Accords, which is a very big thing for which our country received no credit, never receives credit. Everyone says that I should get the Nobel Peace Prize for each one of these achievements. But for me, the real prize will be the sons and daughters who live to grow up with their mothers and fathers, because millions of people are no longer being killed in endless and unglorious wars. What I care about is not winning prizes, it's saving lives. We saved millions and millions of lives with the 7 wars. And we have others that we're working on, and you know that. Many years ago, a very successful real estate developer in New York, known as Donald J. Trump, I bid on the renovation and rebuilding of this very United Nations complex. I remember it so well. I said at the time that I would do it for $500 million, rebuilding everything. It would be beautiful. I used to talk about, I'm going to give you marble floors. They're going to give you terrazzo. I'm going to give you the best of everything. You're going to have mahogany walls. They're going to give you plastic. But they decided to go in another direction, which was much more expensive at the time, and which actually produced a far inferior product. And I realized that they did not know what they were doing when it came to construction, and that their building concepts were so wrong, and the product that they were proposing to build was so bad and so costly. It was going to cost them a fortune. And I said, and wait till you see the overruns. Well, I turned out to be right. They had massive cost overruns and spent between $2 and $4 billion on the building and did not even get the marble floors that I promised them.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Preeti, if you are still with us, we do understand how emotional this entire aspect is and this entire final journey is because of the connection that Zubin had with everybody in the state of Assam and many in the country. What would you tell our viewers, considering we are putting across these very emotional scenes? Looking at his wife, nearly inconsolable, is heart-wrenching.